let's start here. Sam, when I say Sam Raimi, what comes to mind? What's the first thing that comes to mind for you?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind for me is zombies or necromancy. Or like...
You're thinking Evil Dead.
Evil Dead. Yeah, I don't want to say Evil... I mean, honestly, Evil Dead is probably the first thing that comes to mind. But like trying to explain like what that means to me, I think of zombies. I think of like dark magic. I think of crazy camera work. I think of unique dialogue. I think of unique characters. Just like people that aren't really... Just a different world almost. He's created his own world.
That's true, but he has also... He has a pretty versatile filmography.
That is true.
He's done movies like... Oh, God, what's the one with Billy Bob Thornton and Bill Paxton?
Oh.
A Simple Plan.
Oh.
A Simple Plan. He did the Kevin Costner For Love of the Game movie.
What the fuck?
Right.
And I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh, you did?
Okay, no, I did not know that. Yeah.
Yeah. The Quick and the Dead.
I know The Quick and the Dead. Quick and the Dead's one of my favorites.
That one feels very Sam Raimi.
You can tell the camera work in that one is Sam Raimi.
Right. And the reason that I bring it up is, I think that's his legacy as Evil Dead. Most people think about Evil Dead, and that sort of set the template to who we would know Sam
and
Raimi.
Ash.
Yeah,
chainsaws.
And Bruce Campbell, who makes an incredible cameo in this movie.
Does
Did you
he?
catch it?
No.
Oh, we'll get into it.
Wait, was he? Okay, we'll get into it.
Yeah. I just love how he keeps his boyhood friend, Bruce Campbell, in all of his movies.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Has Bruce Campbell went on to like be in other movies?
Oh, come on. The Chin, man. The Chin?
Well, and I know Bubba Hotep.
Yeah, there's Bubba Hotep.
Okay, that's true. I answered my own question. Never mind.
Well, he was in Maniac. He was in Maniac Cop, which is one of my favorite movies.
Okay. I didn't realize he was in Maniac Cop.
Yeah.
Was he the Maniac Cop?
No.
Okay.
He was the hero.
Okay. The Maniac Cop killer?
Right. Yes. Well, you can't kill the Maniac Cop.
Yeah. You can try.
That's impossible.
There's like 7 of them, so you know.
Exactly. Yeah, he's in the first 2.
Okay.
And he's done a lot of other stuff, but we remember him most obviously as Ash, and then Evil Dead, and especially Evil Dead 2 cements this filmmaking team.
And don't forget about Army. So Army of Darkness was what actually got me. I hadn't watched any Sam Raimi, and then Army of Darkness came out in like, what, 94 or something like that?
No, 90, I believe.
90?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay, so I watched it a little bit later than it came out. I remember renting it from the video store, and I was like, what the fuck is this? This is amazing.
Yeah.
And then me and my buddies watched it, and then my buddy Phil came over, and he's like, what, you haven't seen Evil Dead? And then I was like, what? And then he's like, you haven't seen Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn? And he showed me these movies, and we literally watched them every weekend for like, from then on, pretty much.
Right,
it was like
yeah.
in our category, or like our stable of movies.
So you didn't see Evil Dead or Evil Dead 2 until college? Is that what you're saying?
No, it was high school.
Oh, high school.
Yeah, it was high school, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, for me, so I think most people would associate Sam Raimi with Evil Dead. What you're saying that, and he did some of the Evil Dead shots in this movie. I noticed there were a lot of like him playing his greatest hits. Exactly. I noticed, and that's just really
even
fun.
Like straight from the beginning. I noticed like a lot of the close up they used, it just felt so much like Sam Raimi.
Absolutely,
to where you're just getting way too close to. It's too personal. It's
yes.
too human. You know.
Yeah.
But it's also not human.
Yeah.
Like it's so close that it doesn't seem. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like
well, that's what he does.
It's jarring.
So that's what I do want to talk a bit about his style, because I think it's on full display here, and we haven't seen it in a while. It's been a long time.
Right. So this was the first like original script he's done since Drag Me to Hell, right?
Yeah.
And everything else has been Evil Dead related, or
the only other thing he did was the Oz the Great and Powerful.
Oh, right.
And then he, after that, I think that was 2013, and then he did the most recent Doctor Strange.
Oh, that one was awesome.
Yeah, the Multiverse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which you can see him.
Yeah.
His fingerprints.
That was one of my favorite Marvels, actually.
Well, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
That got me.
So it's definitely, this is absolutely a Sam Raimi movie. I think of, again, most people I believe think of Evil Dead. I think of Darkman. Oh, that was my first introduction.
I forgot about Darkman. That's such a good movie. That's Liam. Or is it Liam Neeson?
Yeah, Liam Neeson. Francis McDormand. Yeah.
Ooh, that was a good one, dude.
Right. So, and I think there's a whole other generation, and we're kind of like on the border of this, that think of the Spider-Man trilogy.
And the Spider-Man trilogy was excellent.
And the perfect director for that. So Yeah,
especially number 2 with Doc. You could see Sam Raimi in number 1. You noticed a little bit with Green Goblin, right?
Yeah,
he got to play a little bit, but I feel like they let the chains off him in the second one, and they had that whole scene with Doc Ock with the shadows.
That's the scene.
Oh, that's the scene
where you know it's a Sam Raimi movie.
Yeah, and he did. That was great.
Yeah, so I was a big comic book movie person when I was a kid. I think as most kids were.
Yeah.
Like the first movie I saw in the theater was Batman, and then I was just hooked.
Right.
And anything it was hard to come by. I know it's difficult to imagine right now in 2026 when we're just flooded, inundated with comic book
properties. They were few and far between back in the day.
Right. They were hard to get your hands on. And what's interesting is that Darkman was an original story from Sam Raimi.
Oh, that wasn't a comic book.
It wasn't based off of a comic
book.
He just loved those movies so much. And I know I'll get this wrong, but he wanted to do, I think, a Batman or, some other property, and he just wasn't established enough yet. So they decided, well, screw it. We'll make our own version of this. And it was Darkman. And so, I was like, give me anything like that. Dick Tracy, Darkman, The Shadow, which was, I think, 94 with Alec Baldwin. There was one with Billy Zane.
Yeah. Or was that the Phantom? The Phantom, yeah. Yeah, that was a weird string of movies, huh?
Yeah. And they weren't really that
They
good.
weren't great, no. But Darkman was. I felt like Darkman was.
Darkman.
I can't tell you what it's about, but I remember loving it. To be honest.
Yeah. Darkman had, to me, so Evil Dead is its own thing. I think when I was introduced to Darkman, I was way too young to have watched Evil Dead. I didn't see Evil Dead until college. And also there was someone at college that like made Evil Dead their whole personality.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It really annoyed me.
Well, we were that era too, because we were like
it might have been Griffey.
It might have been Griffey, yeah. The young millennials where everything from like the 80s and early 90s is the shit.
Right. Yeah. And especially Evil Dead's such a punk rock movie, right? But I was just sort of annoyed by, I was sort of like a wannabe filmmaker that watched a lot of Oscar-nominated movies.
Yeah.
I was more likely to go see Good Will Hunting.
Right.
Or whatever Miramax was putting out.
And the thing is, Good Will Hunting, so the thing, Sam Raimi, it's impressive that he made this movie. He made it all by himself, right? At a very young age. How old was he when
Evil Dead?
Yeah.
Oh, there's great lore around this. I mean, they took over this basically condemned cabin in Tennessee, and they went around town in Michigan and rounded up money from dentists and family members and raised, I think, maybe $1 million, if that.
They raised $1 million to make that?
Yeah, but think about how much.
Back then with film and shooting on film, everything adds up.
Right. I mean, it was a dirt cheap movie, and it took so long for the movie to actually get released.
Right. And that's true. Good. So I was trying to compare it a little bit, but Good Will Hunting was Gus Van Sant. He already had a name.
That's a studio.
He had money. He had money. But the impressive part was
independent. It's not a studio movie. It's an independent film, but it had a pedigree. It's not like Evil Dead where there's these nobody
They
kids
just popped out of the woods, literally out of the woods,
running into the woods and seeing what they can get. Yeah. So it has that energy to it, and that's, I think, what especially college kids relate to. But
and it's just really good. Like, it's just incredible that someone could make a movie that good.
It's inspiring.
Yeah, it's inspiring.
Incredibly inspiring. But I always felt like the real expression of Sam Raimi and what he can do was Darkman, because he did Evil Dead. He did this lesser-known movie called Crime Wave, which I have not seen. It's written by the Coen brothers.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And it's kind of like this madcap comedy with, I don't know. I haven't seen it. It's, I think, been reappraised a bit and appreciated more, but it was a huge bomb. And so he was more or less in director jail. He goes back to the well, does Evil Dead 2, refines that whole thing. And then coming off of Evil Dead 2's success, gets to do Darkman.
Okay.
And you can see in Darkman what he really wants to do, which is make a superhero movie.
Yeah.
And I think it's just one of the best, again, expressions of his style of what he does. So if you go to Evil Dead, it's such a, we have no resources, we're just doing our best. And, you see the kernels of what he's capable of, but he was limited. In Evil Dead 2, it's like there's not that much story really to Evil Dead 2. It's just a fun house.
So I remember when the first time I watched Evil Dead 2 with my buddies back in high school, we had watched Evil Dead 1. He's like, just wait for Evil Dead 2. And I remember watching it, and they're going back to the same cabin. I'm like, what the fuck's happening here? And he's like, oh, well, it's basically just a remake. They just had more money and they decided to beef up the first one. Yeah,
exactly. And they did the thing where it's like, well, we can't make it exactly like the first one, so we're just going to take it in this totally insane Looney Tunes direction. Which, when I first saw it, I appreciate it greatly now. But when I first saw that, that was a barrier for me because I'm like, well, this is not scary. This is cheesy. This is corny.
And now that's kind of become Sam Raimi, you know?
Exactly. And there are moments in this movie, Send Help, that you can see those little glints of it. I'm thinking of, especially, by the way, spoilers.
Yes.
We're spoiling the shit
Definitely
out of
spoiling
movie.
it.
Yeah. And so there's a Castaway style plane crash in this film. And, you've seen it in the trailer. You know that if you know anything about this movie, the setup is that Rachel McAdams works for this brat CEO who just inherited his dad's business, who passed. She's supposed to be in line for a big position.
She's been working there for 7 years.
Yeah.
So the dad promised her to have a promotion, right?
Right, a VP position.
And then he went and died. And then the son's like, nah, I'm going to put my buddy in there. Yeah.
Exactly. And he's a classic, like, frat boy style, toxic bro culture
and like a little OCD, like germaphobe type guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
He's got some quirks.
He has some quirks. And anyway, they are going to do some sort of business trip, and they begrudgingly invite her along. Cut to the plane crashes, and the only two survivors are Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien in this.
Yep.
And there's a great moment.
Because they're the only two that had their seatbelts on.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So
if you're on a plane, remember, it may sound like bullshit, but put your seatbelt on.
So I do want to get into the gray morality of this movie, because who's the good guy, who's the bad guy? Yeah. I think that's a big thing that I want to talk about.
That's a big part.
But maybe the actual message is wear your seatbelt, kids.
Yeah.
If there is a message.
Be nice and wear your seatbelt.
The Sam Raimi part to that, I love the shot. And it's all, to me, it almost felt like the Jaws scene too, where Ben, I forget the character's name, but his head pops out when Richard Dreyfuss does the dive and he's going to like investigate the boat wreck.
Right, yep.
And it's that famous shot where they decided they needed a jump scare, and so they put a fake floating head that pops out, and it's the classic jump scare in Jaws. Right. And Sam Raimi does his version of that too. But it's this over the top, like eyeballs bulging, popping out. He has a lot of crossover with Tim Burton, I feel like.
Yeah. Well, and you saying that he wants to make superhero movies made me think of that. Yeah,
I think there is a lot of connection between those two directors.
He's like a grittier, like, I don't know, grittier, more personal Tim Burton. I feel like Tim Burton's so far out of humanity. Well, like his characters are so different.
Tim Burton has this kind of like pastiche in a way that Wes Anderson does,
right?
Which is less
it's like
accessible.
An alternate, it's an alternate reality. Whereas Sam Raimi's is an alternate reality, but there's enough human there.
That's the thing that I'm really interested in talking about with him and his style, is because he does have one foot in reality, and then he goes so far over the top.
And it just like
and
that.
It's like no one blends it the way that he does. It's so singular in my mind. And really, we've tried to model our movie off of, I think, that style.
Yeah.
Because, you see more often than not, if it's, they land in one side or the other. This is either a horror movie or it's a comedy. Or if it's somewhere in between, it's sort of like smirking and winking and self-aware. And I think the characters in a Sam Raimi movie are always believable for the situation that they are in. They don't know they are in a movie.
Well, and it kind of takes you a minute to get there too, at least with me. For this one in particular, it started off and it took me a minute to get into the swing of, oh yeah, this is a Sam Raimi movie, right? I got to stop thinking of these as like, this is what a person would do in this situation. I got to start thinking of it as, this is a character that he's created and this is how they act. Like, this is Ash and he's going to do this badass thing,
Well, a great tell on that I also had the same feelings when it started. It's like everything was very generic in the way they talked about all the details of the business that they were doing. Can you have that report from the consultant that I can hand off to the CEO of the company? It's like that kind of very generic language that does nothing to build a world. But that's not what he cares about. the whole thing is just to get these two characters interacting.
Right.
So all that other stuff, like, why waste time?
Yeah.
With the verisimilitude of it, because that's not.
Well, those aren't the details that are important to me, at least in this. Like, you don't really like. Sometimes I get caught up in that, like when a movie's supposed to be ultra realistic, and you know, like it's a big name. I mean, this is a big name director, but I don't know what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's one of those things like Sam Raimi doesn't take himself too seriously.
That's yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he just has this mix of corny and earnest and over the top, but also suspenseful.
Right.
Scary. Like all that should not work together. You know, there's a lot of B-movie aspects to it. I thought the CGI was really bad in this movie.
Well, I think the CGI was bad on purpose.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly.
And we can talk about that later, but
yeah, it doesn't matter. So, I don't know. It's just a lot of it, if you can start to pick it apart and it doesn't work, like this element, that element. But the way he brings it all together, it does work.
Yeah, and it doesn't even matter if like those parts don't work. Like if it's not a believable company, that's not the part that's important, right?
Right.
The part that's important is their interaction.
Exactly.
And it's the dynamic, and it's the whole like workplace culture, the whole this is a classic tale, right? The culture in any strand or in any Survivor book or story, the shift between like society and living in nature. It's like Lord of the Flies,
right.
You know? And he does that great. And
right, it's like the rules of civilized society don't apply.
Right.
All that's out the window. It's just you and me and the nature. So, you know, what do we want to do to make this work?
So, okay, so we're at the point where they've crash landed, right? Let's talk a little bit about her character. So she was going to I love how they did this, right? She's been trying to be on Survivor for years.
Yeah.
And it starts off with like a pan of her household, and it's just book upon book of like how to tie knots, how to make fires, how to survive in the wilderness, what plants you can eat, all this stuff. And I'm like, man, why the hell does she have this? And then you later find out that she's obsessed with Survivor. They even watch her video, like they're watching her submission video while they crash, which is hilarious.
And that's part of she's trying everything that she can to ingratiate herself in the goodwill of this new leader now. And so she goes on the trip. She's trying to put a good face on, even though she knows she's being passed up for a promotion. But she's like doubling down. Let's make this work. And she gets on the plane and she's writing on her laptop all this proposal. She's really the workhorse that they take for granted. And she overhears them watching, because she's stuck in the back of the plane. Sequestered to herself.
She's got her headphones on too, right?
Yeah,
she's so into her work.
Right.
Yeah.
And then she overhears them watching her Survivor audition video and making fun of her. And then she deletes the document.
But she pauses. And dude, that was such a good moment, because I've been in that situation, man, where you just feel underappreciated.
Yeah.
And you're working your ass off to get this thing done. And you look over and they're just laughing. Like your workmates are just laughing or, you know, doing whatever. And you're like, God damn it, man. I'm just going to close this. I'm going to go home. You know? And that's what that felt like to me.
It is kind of funny. I mean, one of her breakout roles was Mean Girls. And it's sort of the reverse of that. So,
exactly.
Yeah, it was fun I think she's just so great. We'll definitely talk about her.
Actually, can we talk a little bit about this? So they did the thing where they take the super hot girl and they're like, oh, she's disgusting because her hair's greasy. And I'm just like, God damn it. I would still do anything for her.
They even added some moles, you know?
I'm like, those actually look kind of good, yeah.
Right, like, hey, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
I agree. That was tough to swallow.
Like, she's a great actor, and she did kind of play the part pretty well, to where she's like overbearing and everything. But I'm like, man, if a girl that looked like that wanted me to like go get karaoke with her, I would instantly. Hell yeah, dude.
They do their best to frumpy her up,
right,
when she's in the office. And
even her outfit, dude. I'm into that look, man.
It's working for you.
I'm into the Amish lady. Hell yeah. Especially when you find out that she can survive. That's like, dude,
she has a lot.
You know what, man? Sign me up. I'm part of the McAdams family.
But I mean, I think that also was established to show the superficiality of his character.
Of the corporate life.
Maybe we are a little bit older now and we appreciate...
You realize she's the diamond in the rough.
Exactly. But his boys and his crew, they're very superficial. They'd rather be hanging out with models. His fiance is a model.
Dude, and she ended up being kind of badass.
Right.
I was like, she came and found him.
Yeah.
Big spoiler, but the fiance shows up and I'm like, this chick is actually badass. Like, I see why he likes her, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and he's the helpless.
He's the kid. And dude, they can we get into his character a little bit?
Wait, I thought we were going to finish. Let's just put the button on Rachel McAdams. So she is the kooky, not cat lady in this, the parrot lady.
The parrot lady.
She has a pet parrot
named Sweetie.
Yeah. And I did think this was my only criticism of the movie is that, and it's a very light criticism, is that I thought they leaned in a little too hard in the beginning to make her weird. Mm-hmm. And it's
how would she have gotten there being that weird to begin
That's
with?
The thing. Yeah. That's the thing.
Because she's like what is her position at the beginning? She's like pretty high up, isn't she? Because she talks about how it's bullshit that she has to sit with the assistants.
See, okay. Yeah. That's part
like,
of
why
it.
are they making her
So she's in the bullpen with the rest. She's been promised a VP position apparently by Bruce Campbell, who is the CEO who's died, Dylan O'Brien's dad in this. I only know that because his picture's hanging up on the wall.
Dude, I missed
in the office.
Okay.
Yeah.
I must have been peeing at that point.
Hey, you can't the chin is
Yeah. I think I would have noticed it.
You would have noticed the chin, yeah. So he's in there in the background and it's pretty clear, but yeah, it doesn't actually have a speaking role. Anyway, yeah, she's so weird and bizarre,
and the way she eats her sandwich, it's like, like just go to the kitchen if you're gonna eat like that. But
and you're kind of like
so I kind of feel with him. I'm like, she is kind of disgusting in her mannerisms,
but it's Rachel McAdams.
Dude.
Rachel McAdams,
and like when she smiles, it
just feels a little forced.
Yeah,
but once we get to the island and she's doing all of her survivor stuff and being a badass, we see how attractive she actually is, and they do,
and you see why she's right. She's right for the role, even though like I kind of would want someone different to be the frumpy.
Yeah,
like
it's tough. It is tough to blend those two characters.
It is, yeah.
It's a lot like Michelle Pfeiffer before she becomes Catwoman in Batman Returns.
It is, yeah. She's still like, you could save her.
I
could help her.
It's just kind of like, how did this happen?
I like cats.
How did you clearly, objectively gorgeous woman become this like weird idiosyncratic?
What led you to this point?
Like social outcast? I don't know. It's a lot to swallow, but that's a tough needle to thread because she does have to be resourceful and heroic and well tanned and flipping the dynamic once they get to the island where he has to rely on her.
So here's my thing. Don't you think Rachel McAdams? Okay, so now you're making me not like the movie, dude, because. Okay, Rachel McAdams, right? She's going to get on some website about surviving and she's going to find some dude that's like super into it too. They're going to meet and they're both going to be super hot and she's going to have a good life.
Yeah.
Like, it's just unbelievable that she doesn't have any interaction with anybody but her parrot.
I agree.
Like, she has so many she
did say that she was married though before.
But she was married to an asshole. Like,
so this is maybe a character thing.
She likes him.
So there is this whole thing that's set up where she's looking forward to, I think Bradley is the character's name, Dylan O'Brien.
Yeah.
Her name is Lisa.
Linda.
Or Linda.
Little Linda.
Linda.
Or Linda Little. Sorry.
Linda Little and Bradley whatever.
Even the name's good. Because, she starts off little and she becomes this fucking force.
Yeah. That's a good point.
So many little things.
And she has the line where she's like, I met him at the Christmas party.
He flirted with her.
We flirted together. And then you see that she's delusional. Mm-hmm. That actually was just from her perspective.
Well, but also you see that he is very superficially charismatic. Like, as long as you don't talk to him for too long, he could seem like he could be flirting with you. Yeah, because he's a CEO, dude. He's been training for this type of thing.
He's a politician. He's a gaslighter, I mean, that's just part of it.
So you could see why she thought that. So she's not, I don't know if she's that delusional. As much as she's just kind of naive.
The only thing is that you see how her coworkers spawn to her, and she does make people uncomfortable. And when
she doesn't realize it either,
and she doesn't realize that she has no self-awareness.
Yep.
And so there's a lot of strange character stuff going on here that I actually appreciated by the end. Once we find out everything that happened, we'll get to it. But
it felt hard at the beginning. Yeah.
At the beginning, I'm kind of like, I don't know.
It's like, why are they so mean? Why are they so mean to her? You know, because she's not doing anything that bad. Like, I'm kind of on her side. I'm like, you know, I kind of agree with you. You should be invited to the fucking karaoke party. You know, like,
yeah. But
what is she doing that's so bad?
She's weird and socially awkward, and she talks too much.
Right.
I've been around a lot of people like that. So yeah, I don't know. It's just trying to orient yourself, figuring out who are these characters, what are their places, and a lot of those building blocks I think do matter once we learn more about her and, like, again, her relationship with her husband and what she says about that, and then why she might have actually been attracted to Dylan O'Brien's character. And to
he is smoking hot to begin with.
Oh, he is. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'd like to think that women are more discerning than men when it comes to superficiality, attractions like that. But maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not.
It just depends. It's just kind of like, why would she like him?
Yeah.
And I had an issue with that as the story unfolded, and he was so helpless and not attractive. But, you know, again, maybe that was part of why she...
Well, a lot of women are they like the helpless men. Like, that's a whole freaking
being the
shtick.
Caretaker.
Yeah, being the caretaker, being the mama.
Yeah, right.
And she does seem like a mama, you know?
And then, you know, you are asking the question, too, at a certain point where she's got her glow up, where they're on the island, you know.
And she looks almost exactly the same. Her hair is just nicer, you know?
Right. But the bags under her eyes are gone.
That's true.
And she has, like, a little bit of sun in her hair. And she's, you know, her midriff's showing. And, you know, she's an attractive woman. And you're kind of like, yeah, why wouldn't Bradley be attracted to her?
I mean, dude, that's okay. So that was one of the big flaws with the movie is, I mean, Bradley, they do a good job of making him seem like he's got all this shit, right? But me, personally, I'm waking up on that island. I'm like, yeah, let's not try to get off this island.
I mean,
let's just stay here.
This is great.
You're going to take care of me? You're going to go hunt boars?
Right. Yeah, right. You make me sushi. But at the same time, so this is what I was expecting your big take on the movie to be, is that maybe Dylan O'Brien's character wasn't such a bad guy. If you think about it, and maybe I'm making the argument for you.
Okay.
And, if you think about it,
maybe I'm changing you.
Maybe. I think you could look at it both ways. So the main question is, who is the villain? And let me just ask you that before we dive into the specifics.
Okay. So
who was the villain of this movie?
So I'm going to tell you what I think they were going for, and then I'm going to tell you what I actually think.
Okay.
So what I think did Sam Raimi write it?
No. It's a screenwriting duo called Shannon and Swift.
Oh,
and
I like it. I like the name.
They've done a few things. I follow them on the social medias. I'm going to let you go into your takes, and I'm going to look up on it. We don't have producer Nick here. We don't have Griffey.
Yeah, we have no help.
We're doing our best.
Send
here.
help.
Yeah, send help, exactly. But they've done some other notable films.
Okay, while you're looking that up, so basically what I think the Swifts were going for, or Shannon Swift was going for, was that you were supposed to be continually changing throughout the movie who you think is the bad guy and good guy based on whatever the incident that happened was. But to me, man, Rachel McAdams had me from the beginning. The dude was always the bad guy. That guy can fuck off. But I see how they, like, remember the moment where they were by the campfire and he was telling about how his dad was a bad guy. He never knew him. He didn't know one thing about his dad,
right.
Bruce Campbell.
Yep.
And you saw in her eyes that she was like, oh, that was the thing she needed to make her believe that she's right. And he's not a bad guy. He just needs help.
Right.
And I think that's what she wanted. And I think that even the how they wrote it, the audience is kind of supposed to feel that way too. It's like, maybe this guy doesn't, like, he's an asshole, but he hasn't done anything that bad, you know? He didn't give her a job, you know? People are assholes like that. That happens all the time. So yeah, give him a second chance. Maybe he's redeemable. And he's a good actor, man. Because he makes you seem like he's changed. And like, yeah, he's unbelievable, right? Like when he's stuttering and he's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that, blah, blah. And he's like spitting shit up. It's like, man, okay, you kind of feel for this guy.
It's a really good power dynamics movie. We've had a lot of movies like this, right? Hard Candy came to mind. Begonia, the War of the Roses. Who's holding the power? Those power dynamics shift constantly, and then it's a chess game of, do I? Because he is very political in that way. He knows that in order to survive, or just to have the
he's a good manipulator. He knows how to deal with people. He knows how to manipulate people.
Right, and we're not totally sure if Rachel McAdams sees through it or not. There is a scene later where we realize
she does
that she does, but she also has genuine affection for him for some reason, and that leads to this constant tension about, are they going to get together? And I think that does a lot of work for the story.
Here's a question for you, actually, about that. So you say she does have, not necessarily feelings for him, but do you think if it was anybody else, I feel like she's just kind of a good person to begin with, and she would take care of anybody that happened to be.
Why do you think she's a good person?
Well, because she even says at the beginning, oh, you had to be the one to survive, which makes me think that if the Asian dude would have lived, she would have taken care of it. It would have been the same thing. And it's not necessarily that she specifically likes this Bradley guy, but she's just specifically, she's realizing that she has this other dynamic to herself. She has this other level of power, and it wouldn't have mattered who she crashed with. I feel like it would have happened the same.
I disagree.
You do?
Yeah, I disagree. I think that it wasn't until she tells the story about her ex-husband where they are making those confessions, right? Ooh. So you just brought it up. Where she is, or he's confessing that he never received love from his parents. Because she mentioned that, I think, about her husband. And he said, yeah, I know what you mean. I know how that feels. My parents pretended like they loved me, but they really didn't. They were more self-absorbed. And maybe that's a reason for him to be sympathetic now. Her story is that her husband was abusive, an alcoholic, and that she would always hide his keys so that he couldn't drive. And that one day that was really bad, and she doesn't get into specifics why it was bad, but she says, I just put the keys on the counter, poured him a drink, and said, go on your way. Yeah. And then he ends up dying in a car crash from that. Yeah. So that does two things for me in terms of framing who this character is. One, it tells me that she has the capacity to do something that's not straight up murdering someone, although we do get to that point.
Yeah, it's looking the other way.
Yeah, that she has a moral judgment, and if there's an opportunity for her to do something that benefits her, she's willing to do it.
Yeah.
And because she knew better, that's the whole reason she always hid the keys, but she purposefully did it to spite him.
She was tired of his bullshit.
And you can't necessarily fault her for that. Now, the other thing that I think it reveals is...
She technically didn't do anything illegal, just so we're on the same page, right?
No, she didn't. No, yeah. But it was negligence.
Yeah.
But no, it was,
He's an adult.
Of course, yeah. Of course.
Fuck him. I'm on her side, I told you.
On that, but... Later, we find out she does some other things that are very wrong, and that's kind of the seed that we see.
Yeah, that. She starts to lose me a little bit.
The other thing is that why is she attracted to him? What is it about him that... Because she even says that she loves him by the end. Mm-hmm. And I kept wondering,
Wait, does she say that she loves him, or does he say that he loves her?
So he's trying to bullshit her like he has been throughout the movie. And...
Because I'm pretty sure he says "I love you," and she's like, "Why did it take so long?"
Yeah, but that's what she wanted.
Okay.
You see that there's a moment when they're in the cave, they're hiding from the rain,
right?
And they're
cuddling or
they're body heat in order to stay warm, and that just sort of they start to cuddle in the cave.
Okay, they're on a tropical island, but body heat,
and it's partly planting that seed. Are they going to be romantic?
Yeah.
Is that a possibility? But for her character, you see the shot is mostly on her. And that's what she wants. She is feeling it. And there's something about him that she's attracted to this whole time. Even though time after time, he keeps revealing that he's not worthy of love because he's such a selfish prick. But I would say, if we're asking about who is the villain, I think it gets a little bit gray because she, I think, as you always say, Sam, in a court of law, does many things that I don't think would, be too sympathetic for a jury.
Yeah.
But anyway, my last point on that is simply that in that story about her husband, there's something about her character that's attracted to these toxic guys. And I don't know that it's explored much beyond that, but she's attracted to the toxic guys for some reason.
Yeah, well, it could just be something as simple as like they do a good job of making Bradley seem like a child, right? Even down to the simple fact that when he washes up on shore, he's wearing a child's life jacket.
I didn't notice
Did you notice that? It says child size.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
I missed that.
So like even little things like that, and I think that, I mean, I don't want to be. Is it just that like the idea that a woman wants to take care of a child? Could that be part of it? Maybe, and the fact that maybe like she never had kids with her husband.
Right.
Maybe Bradley is.
Well, she even calls him the name of her parrot,
Sweetie. Parrot, Sweetie. So it's like she wants to take care of him, and I think that part of it is like she's so much smarter, or she thinks she's so much smarter, and in reality she is, but she needs to protect this guy. He doesn't know. Like he's just a kid, man. Like when a kid does something awful, you don't be like, "Oh, this kid's evil." You're like, oh, this kid just messed up.
Yeah, he's a child that owns a Fortune 500
Yeah,
company.
so even at the end when they're facing off and she's got the shotgun at him and he's like, I love you. And she's like, why did you make it so hard?
Yeah.
And it's just like she's still talking to a child. And then she looks over, anyways, sees it. That's how it ends. And
well, we can say by this point in the pod.
Okay,
how it ends.
So she looks over and the antlers are missing off the wall, right?
Yeah.
So we skipped ahead a big part. But anyways, there's a house on the island, and Bradley, even at the very last second, when he's out of hope, he's still plotting against her, and she realizes it, and I assume she shoots him. They don't actually show it. But they never find his body. Let's just say that.
Right.
But can we talk about the house?
Yeah, you want to talk about the house? Yeah.
So to let people know, so they crash landed on this island, right? Bradley's passed out for 3 or 4 days, 2 or 3 days, something like that. And she's exploring the island. Yeah. She discovers that there's a freaking house on the other side of the island.
Yep.
And she discovers it because she sees a shipment coming to it. And she could have warned the people. And that's the first note that you get that maybe something's a bit crazy with this lady.
She even says right off the bat,
I'm not ready.
Not yet.
Because
she is in control now. And you get that from the trailer, that's the dynamic here, is that the tables have been turned. She is now in control of this person and her boss, basically. And she's running the show. And so she's not yet ready to have this this newfound power be taken away.
Yeah.
And
or just faced with the consequences of kind of how... Because at that point, she's already kind of been...
I think
basically the same to him that she was to her, right?
Yeah, that's part of it.
Yeah. You don't think any of it's that she doesn't want to face the consequences of her actions?
By that point, though, there haven't been that many actions that could have happened by the time she discovers the house.
Well, that's true. Yeah, before he wakes up. But I'm just saying, why doesn't she tell him, like... I could understand, like, okay, I want to just get my bearings. I want to be here for a little bit, and I'll tell him when he wakes up. But she doesn't tell him for weeks.
That's what I'm wondering. I think it's because she's hoping that a romance will blossom.
Is that it?
Yeah. And I think that's the hard part with the movie. It's not totally clear that that's her motivation. It's partly because of the power switch, but also she likes him. I don't know. It's
but I also,
weird.
If that is the motivation, I don't dig it. Because I don't understand it.
I think it's part of the motivation, but yeah, it's not fully kind of realized. So there are a few things like that I think that get lost.
That would explain why she didn't just kill him the first time he tried to fuck with her, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Why does she keep bringing him back?
Right. Yeah. That's exactly. And
have you ever, can we have a side note? Have you ever had a boss like that to where you would, if you landed on an island with him, you'd just let him like die of dehydration? Do you want to put that out in the world?
No, I can't comment.
Okay, I have. I'm not going to tell you her name. I'm not going to tell you her name, but there is one specific one, and this is how she'll know. So I was doing a pilot, and dude, we were watching this pilot. This boss was terrible. She was a dick to me the entire time, and we did a pilot of a game show. I'm not going to tell you the game show, but the award for winning it was $15,000. And I remember we were watching the cut, and this fucking lady said, "Why would anyone ever like do this for $15,000?" and I was just
so
like, Jesus Christ, lady. Yeah.
My last job, there was a new CEO that was hired, and this person was very much like Dylan O'Brien's character.
Okay.
Thought he was like a tech bro in the club, genius. I never met him in person. It wasn't like I disliked him, but he was almost a caricature, of what's being represented.
When it's like all the things you're supposed to say to people to get them to do stuff, and
it was very much kind of like there's a new sheriff in town, and we got to be on the cutting edge. And it was very bro-y.
Gotcha.
And I worked in TV, and it's sort of an established, entrenched. Now it's under siege because of changes in technology and viewing habits and everything. And you basically had this person who didn't know anything about the business coming in and trying to disrupt it because that's what they do.
Well, it's like you got to make your own mark. I'm the new boss.
Right. And it's a lot kind of like this movie where you have this kid coming in, making his own mark and not really knowing shit.
And then who was the lieutenant? I forget his.
Dennis Haysbert.
Yes, that guy, dude. He's so great, and he's like
great, but he's totally wasted in this.
I know,
movie.
Yeah, but no, his part was good too, man. I felt his pain because he was like, we promised this job to Linda.
Yeah.
She's a workhorse. She actually does all the freaking work, dude. You need to understand this. And he's like, yeah, whatever. I'm going to put Danny Boy in or whatever. And then he's like, what is that? And he makes the dude smell his hand.
Because he shook her hand.
That was such a that was a good character point because it's even like this attractive, big, strong black dude that's just like, you wouldn't fuck with this guy, right? He's going to smell your hand. Ooh.
I mean, yeah, Dennis Haysbert might have been the hottest person in the whole movie.
Definitely the
Everybody's
hottest
pretty hot in the movie.
Yeah. It is kind of crazy. Everyone was really hot. Even fucking Danny Boy that flew out the plane.
Yeah.
He was really hot too.
So it is kind of weird that she is such a kook and a weirdo, and why she would have been in line for a position, but maybe she is just so hyper competent.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of it is that
they put up with her.
Well, and we need to see that she can provide and she can do all the things that he can never do once they're on the island. Mm-hmm. So she has to be providing some kind of value that we don't initially see. So there's like this whole dichotomy. So I guess the next place to go with this talk is the Sam Raimi of it all.
Yeah. Okay. Can we talk about the CGI?
Yes, let's go.
Okay, so we've already talked a little bit about the camera work, right? We noticed the Sam Raimi camera work, right? The CGI threw me at first. And then, I'm kind of mixed on it because you look back at Evil Dead, right? And it's like why didn't they make that boar stop motion? Why didn't they just go all the way? Like if you're going to make it a shitty effect, why not just do your original shitty effect?
Well, because it's a Disney movie, and they're not going to go that far into because that would just make it too
comical.
Not comical, just it would be foreign now, the modern audience.
And then using a real boar wouldn't be enough because it'd be boring.
Exactly,
it'd be boring
and impossible. I mean, there are a lot of like big moments that happen that you pretty much have to use CGI. Mm-hmm. We're talking about the plane crash, the boar that she.
The plane crash was fine. I thought the plane crash looked amazing.
Plane crash was cool. Yeah. Sam Raimi in that scene does inject a little bit of his old Evil Dead style again with the guy like being stuck on the side of the plane by his tie,
and somehow she can still hear him saying, "Linda, help me!" And I'm like, you couldn't hear him, but whatever.
Yeah, that felt like the most Sam Raimi scene to me. Was that the CGI? Yeah, I like it looked a lot like an early 2000s movie.
But yeah, that's why I say I think he did it on purpose to like kind of showcase that whole low budget feeling. It's to take you out of it. It's to make this thing so this is not a boar, right? This is a Sam Raimi boar, and this is a big monster. And they showcase it when she impales him, and it's just keeping going. Like a boar wouldn't do that. Like it's spitting blood on her face. Yeah. It's just like way over the top. And I think they could have made, dude, with this budget, they could have made the CGI a little bit better.
So. I
think it's on purpose.
Yeah, it's a big studio movie. But they have to know a little bit about what the movie's going to do overall. It's not like this movie's going to be $200 million thing. But yeah, I mean, they have the resources. I thought it felt a lot like a movie that you would get, that I remember going to. What Lies Beneath is sort of an example of this, where the whole tone, the CGI, the type of story it was, the way the movie was made, it felt like a throwback. Just let's go to the movie theater, have a good time.
Dude, that's a popcorn movie. That's a good comp because I remember watching What Lies Beneath in the theater, and that is the most hilarious movie.
It's
so funny, and it's not supposed to be.
Right, yeah, exactly.
It's like what Sam Raimi, he couldn't even dream of doing that. Like
it's just fun.
Yeah,
and it'll be interesting to see how this movie performs. I think people our age and older will really appreciate it, and I think younger people might think that it's a bit too goofy.
Yeah.
And honestly...
Well, it's people that don't know Sam Raimi, probably.
Right. But at the same time, I remember having that thought when he was announced to be the director of Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. Because I liked Darkman as a kid. I thought that was great. But then when I saw it as a snobby teenager, I thought it was kind of corny. Mm. And that's sort of the point. That's kind of his style. That's what he does. But I didn't get it. I didn't appreciate it. And what I really wanted out of comic book movies was what we eventually got with, say, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, Watchmen, the Snyderverse, all that stuff. I really wanted it to be more grounded and taken seriously because up to that point, really the only comic book franchise we had was the Batman series. And they took it so far out into
Tim Burton
goofy territory. Yeah. No, like with the Joel Schumacher.
Oh, Joel Schumacher,
Batman Forever, and then Batman.
Well, I even feel like Tim Burton, like that wasn't. I mean, that's Tim Burton's Batman. That's not Batman.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. You're right. Exactly.
Straight from the beginning, and then that's Joel Schumacher's Batman. You know?
Yeah, and it's tough to imagine what it was like pre-Spider-Man, but comic book movies just were not taken seriously.
They were ultra low budget or B movies.
They were B movies.
Remember Punisher with Dolph Lundgren?
Yeah,
like dude, they were bad. They were good. I loved them, but they were bad.
I mean, by the time Spider-Man came around, we had already had an X-Men movie, which was better than people expected.
That was like the big. Hollywood's going to step in and actually try to make a movie, right? And everyone was amped for X-Men.
Yeah.
And X-Men was not bad. I liked it.
I was so pleasant.
Patrick Stewart, Storm.
Yeah, no, I thought it was great. And that's kind of how I was hoping it would go. And then Sam Raimi was announced for Spider-Man. And I was like, it's going to be too cheesy. Mm-hmm. It's going to be too infantile. And it's not going to be taken seriously. And of course I was wrong. Because when you go to see Spider-Man, and like you say, especially in Spider-Man 2, he really nails it. Just the way he blends that, where you have the earnestness of the characters, they believe the world that they live in, and we believe it too. But at the same time, there's this lightness to what he does. It's fun, and just like this movie, it's not trying to be Castaway. It's not trying to make us really believe that situation because that's not.
No, you just need to believe it enough to know why these people are doing what they're doing. I mean, you don't even need to know why they're doing it. You just need to know that they're doing it. Yeah, that's kind of the thing, right?
Yeah,
and it's just you have to believe it. You have to believe that this woman is going to act this way,
right?
Based on what you've seen of her,
right? It's more about the characters. The situation doesn't necessarily have to be believable. It just has to be fun and entertaining, and that's what he does so well without. Just saying, screw it, this is just for laughs and we're not taking any of it seriously. Right. That's not what he does. It's just a really great blend, and I appreciated that so much, and so few filmmakers do that now. Mm-hmm.
And I even forgave some of the script. Like, the script was so obvious that the exes... There's going to be something over there that she doesn't want him to see. So, like, even all of the obvious stuff, I was like, I don't even care. It's just such a fun movie. Like, I want to see how this ends. I know he's going to discover what's over there.
Yeah.
The fact that they didn't show her walking through those branches means that those branches aren't there.
Right.
Like, I know how editing and I know how storytelling works.
Well, but, and she was manipulating and turning the tables, too. Okay, so back to the question. Who's the real villain? Besides being guilty of being a douchebag frat boy, what did Dylan O'Brien's character really do that was all that bad?
Well, I mean, basically, dude, it just boils down to he was the dumbass. Okay. Because, dude, she saves you 3 or 4 times. Like, you don't need to knock her out to escape. Just wait till she goes to sleep.
That's the worst thing. Like,
I don't understand why he keeps... Because that's the part... That's the whole... the child thing, right? Yeah. He thinks of this as like a competition. It's not really about survival for him.
Well, there's even that line... about control.
I'm gonna build my own camp.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like it shows that this dude is not really like he's concerned about surviving. He wants to get back to his wife and everything. But the more pressing issue is he needs to put this woman in her place.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I think that's kind of the point of it.
Exactly. But as you like to say, in a court of law,
In the court of law, that doesn't matter.
All the things that she does is way worse. The worst thing that he does, from like a law. Although we're in the law,
he did poison
the island. Yeah. He poisons.
That's the worst thing.
And he has secretly built a raft to escape because that's his whole thesis is we got to get out of here.
Not illegal.
And she's
not illegal,
right? And she's in no hurry. He wants to get back to his life, and her life now. She's thriving here, and this is what she's always wanted. She's on Survivor basically. So she doesn't want it to end.
Oh yeah, she's in her heaven. She's died and gone to heaven.
Yeah, and he wants out of there so bad, but he knows that she's kind of running the show. Mm-hmm. So he drugs her and tries to escape by himself in his raft. Of course, it doesn't work.
Yeah,
his raft collapses immediately, and he's washed ashore.
All right, I want to. That brings me to the music. I want to talk about that in a second. But before we get to that point, and I forgot what I was going to say. So let's just move on to the music. How about that?
Okay, right to the music.
So that's when I realized I love the music. When he went out to the raft and that orchestra just swelled, and it's like dun 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 dun.
So you know who scored it, right?
I do because I looked it up. Danny Elfman.
It's
another
Tim Burton connection. Yeah,
they're the same, bro.
Right. I just wish Tim Burton was still making really good movies.
I know.
I mean,
Danny Elfman still, dude. I thought the score was good. I loved the orchestra.
Yeah.
It felt epic.
So okay, he is basically at her mercy.
Yep.
He wants to get out of there, but what has he done this whole time other than just not trust her? But he.
Other than that, yeah.
But he also has to see that she has feelings for him. I mean, he has a fiance. He's not romantically interested in her.
No, see, I think he is. He's socially aware enough to realize that, and he's manipulating her.
Right.
So I think actually he is the bad guy the entire time. I'm sticking with my initial.
You're sticking with that.
I do have a question for you though. Okay, so when he poisoned her, he wakes up and he's like, or he comes back. She rescues him after he crashes in the ocean from the raft falling apart, and he's like, "I'm sorry, I only wanted to knock you out. That's all I want." And she's like, "You've said that over and over. I believe you." Do you believe him? Do you think he was trying to kill her? And then why would he try to kill her if he was?
I don't think it mattered to him whether she died or not. I don't think he was that careful about it.
So then he was just using that as more of a manipulation to be like, hey, I never tried to kill you.
Oh, sure. Yeah. He was just trying to smooth it all over by that point.
So yeah, I don't know. So that's the part where I was like, maybe he is... Because I get what you're saying. He hasn't done anything that bad. But maybe trying to kill her was the point that made me realize he deserves to die.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's clearly selfish.
He's selfish.
But she is selfish too, I think. She's not a perfect... It's not like...
Oh, she's definitely... Like, the first time that she sees the boat and doesn't say anything...
Right.
That signifies that she's just as bad as him.
Right, exactly.
Just in a different way.
And that's okay. I mean...
But she's Rachel McAdams, you know?
You're right. Yeah. I mean, she's the one that we identify with. Yeah. Even though she's quirky and weird.
I would like to identify with her.
Oh, hey. I mean... Especially by the end, where she's kind of like...
Yeah, the hair is flowing and like, yeah.
Oh, I mean, she's so cute. She's so adorable. She did a really good job of trying to be a weirdo.
I said this before, but I think you were talking over me. I would join the McAdams family. I would take her last name, and she could protect me on that island for all eternity.
Ditto.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Her and Wedding Crashers is just like an all-timer. But... Yeah, I mean, she is violent. She's manipulative. She's
crafty.
Yeah,
but he's also stupid, and
right.
So it's easy for her to be all that. Because even the knife thing, like I was thinking that too. I was like, a knife washed up on shore, like that wouldn't sink.
Right.
Like it's metal. Like why would that wash up on shore? It's not. I mean, I guess the handles would, but I don't know, man. Like all of that, I was like, dude, you're an idiot.
What did you think about the scene after he drugs her? And so there's Sam Raimi is so good at, this is like a classic Sam Raimi splatterfest that you get in real Sam Raimi movies, like Drag Me to Hell,
right?
And the Evil Dead movies, obviously.
He was trying to show you that maybe this movie is going to be like that.
Well, I mean, there was a lot of, it starts with the boar.
Well, the boar, yeah.
With all the blood and everything, but there's also, she's puking into his face as she saves him. Dude. There's so much puke and blood.
Okay, so did you see this in a full theater?
The theater was full.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
So I went to the 10:30 a.m. showing in Lebanon, Indiana, and it was me and 14 people that had to at least be 70 years old.
Yeah.
And fucking they always, no matter what, if you're going to a movie with old people, they always sit next to you. I'm like, the whole theater is available, but they all sat next to me. And I was like, God damn it. And then the dude that was behind me, man, he just kept kicking. He jumped at He jumped at everything. He laughed at everything. He laughed at the puke.
Right. It's fun.
And I was like, this is amazing, dude.
Right.
This is going to reach everybody. Like, it just makes sense. It was amazing.
Yes. It never lets you get bored because there's always some little set piece. So the one that I wanted to talk about is after she saves him from his raft folly and pukes in his face and then wakes up. And then so she tricks him because she feeds him. He can't provide food for himself, but now she's drugged him.
Yeah.
And he's eating this like.
Well, and he's in his submissive role again, where he's like, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I messed up. I'm never going to do it again." And she's like, "Well, you need to eat this to get your strength up." And then it's pretty funny. She's like, "You need to get your strength up," and then it pauses, and she's like, "Again," like signifying that we've done this over and over, dude. Right. And so he's like, "Okay," and so he eats the octopus.
She paralyzes him.
Yeah, she feeds him a poisonous octopus that she's been saving for weeks, which makes you think that she's a little bit fucked up too, right? Yeah. Right? Yeah. Like she's planning this. She's like, I hope I would have never had to use it.
And there's also that line that I'm thinking about now where just again, the whole, what do you do when you're with someone that you don't want? Although why he wouldn't want her is kind of crazy. But you know that she wants him. And then there's that like power dynamic moment where he thinks what she's implying is that he needs to give his body over to her.
Yeah.
And she goes, put your clothes back on. I'm not like you.
Okay, so there were a couple different moments in this movie where I was like, all these old people around me are going to walk out. And that was the first one. When I was like, is this chick going to make him have sex with her?
Yeah.
And I'm like, these old people are not going to like
So she has some sort of moral line.
Yeah.
But
when she's like, I'm just fucking with you. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I'm not like you. And he's like, oh.
So what were you thinking then when she paralyzes him and then you think she's about to castrate him?
Yeah, the guy that was behind me, I was like, oh, he's going to walk out. He's going to walk out of this theater. And I was like, she's cutting off his balls. And I was like, oh no, this movie just changed. And I was on board. Dude. I was like, I'm ready. I'm ready for the carnage that's going to happen. And then she pulls the rat out and I'm like, oh. But the old guy behind me, I think he was relieved.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think most of America will be relieved.
So you thought when that blood spray, because you don't see, she's like messing around with a knife.
And he's such a good actor, dude. He's like crying. Yeah. And it's like, oh my God.
So the thing is that he's paralyzed. He won't be able to feel whatever she's doing. Yeah. And she's like digging around with a knife after she's taken his pants off. Yeah. And the idea is she tells some story about compliance and that this will help you be more compliant. And
she talks about dogs or something, and she's like, this is how you get dogs to follow orders. Yeah.
And she's messing with him, and then but until you see the blood spray up on his face, and you're kind of like, and she's like, oh, we have a bleeder here.
No, dude.
You're kind of like, oh my God, did she actually do it? And then of course, you see she had a rat instead, and she was just messing with him.
Yeah.
But did you ever see Hard Candy?
Mm-hmm.
It's the exact same scene. There's the exact same scene in that movie.
So wait, in Hard Candy, is she fucking with him too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She ices down his balls.
Yeah.
And makes him think that she's castrated him, and when in fact she hadn't.
Okay.
So I kind of knew that's what they were doing because I've seen that.
See, I didn't remember that from her. I remember Hard Candy, but I don't remember that specific part, and it got me, and I was like, oh, this is Sam Raimi, baby. This is
well,
real.
that's I was a little disappointed because like you, I thought, oh yeah, we're going wild. This is a rated R movie.
And I was like, it's just going to be me in here. I'll finish it. Don't worry. Yeah.
Right. So she does have these lines that she doesn't cross until certain points. Like when the fiance shows up to rescue him.
Mm-hmm. See, that's the part, man. That's the part that makes me not like her. Even up to the end, even up to the very last second, she gives him chance after chance. She didn't give the fiance any chance.
Right.
Like she didn't, like she's smart, but she's not smart enough to figure out how to make them go away without killing them.
So
that kind of sucks.
We see in an earlier scene that they are out for a hike and that she falls on some loose ground and almost goes over the ledge, and he actually saves her.
Yeah. That's another twist where it's like, man, you kind of like him.
Right. But that comes back around where she's out foraging and the fiance shows up with a guide, a local guide.
Yeah, and maybe the most innocent person in the entire story. Poor
and
guy.
They say, let's take me to my fiance, take me to Bradley. She goes, okay, well, it's this way. And she takes them on the path to where she knows that there's that loose ground.
Yeah.
And she leads them that way.
Yep.
And then...
Oh, that scene was hard, man.
Yeah, and then we find out that she basically kills them.
Yeah.
So,
well, they don't show you right away, right? She's like, she's pretending to tie her shoe. She's like, just go around the corner. And then the lady falls, and the guide's a good guy, so he goes and grabs her. Yeah. And he's like, why aren't you helping? And they keep looking back at her. And then it cuts back to the beach. And she shows up, and you don't know what happens.
Yeah, and that's what I love about Sam Raimi.
You really don't know what happens till way later.
And that's a great moment of suspense, too, because you're kind of like, yeah, this is an over-the-top movie that's silly, but I thought that was a harrowing moment.
Well, so with when she cut off, pretend castrated him, I thought that they were going to do the same thing where they cut back and, like, maybe she...
Right.
Like, didn't kill them.
Yeah.
I don't know how they would have done it. It would have been hard to write that.
Well, we find out.
Yeah, we find out.
She's definitely dead.
She's definitely dead. And we find out in a Sam Raimi way. She crawls up on the beach in the classic zombie, like, distorted. That was a great
Sam Raimi scene. That little dream sequence. Yeah.
And
that was a good jump scare. Really good jump scare.
But then the next part where then later on you find out, you see the wife's hand sticking out, and you notice it's her hand because of her godly ring.
Right.
And, gaudy ring?
Gaudy engagement ring.
Yeah. And, but then what happened? Did she bury her? I didn't really get that.
You know, I just kind of took it as the tide came in
and buried her. Okay.
Buried
I was wondering.
Yeah. I mean, it's just I don't think it's supposed to make sense. It's just
the cool hand sticking out.
Very much an image.
And that's how Bradley discovers something's weird.
Yeah.
Because he sees his wife's hand. Imagine that. Imagine you're shipwrecked for a month. And then you're walking down the beach and your wife or your fiance's hand sticking up with your ring.
Yep. That might actually be a messed up moment.
Okay.
So, yeah, and then what else happens here? Then it's just kind of like turns into War of the Roses, where they are just at each other's.
And that's a fun part too, because they're stabbing each other, they're chasing each other through the woods. You get to see more of the jungle.
Right.
You actually get to see in the jungle more.
You have the reveal, the twist is that the island was inhabited and that she broke into this house and took over while these rich people who lived there were who God knows where.
You find out that's where she found the knife, and that's probably where she got the sushi. That's probably where she got all the shit.
That's how she was able to be so resourceful.
So like part of her resourcefulness is a lie. Yeah.
But okay, so she was manipulating and obscuring the reality, not sharing with him. I mean, that's pretty bad.
But it was pretty obvious, right? Like, Bradley's a dumbass. Like, she shows up with sushi, and it's like, you made sushi out of the fish he saw the fish she caught.
But honestly, the right thing to do would be, hey, we can get off this island. And she, for her own selfish reasons, keeps them there.
That's true,
and it all leads to this big climax at the end where we assume she ends up killing him.
Yep.
And
they never find his body. We don't know what happened to him.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then we see at the very end that she is now a celebrity. She's in a celebrity golf tournament, which I thought was a good touch.
Yeah.
They talk about.
So she learned golf.
That
was one of the shticks of Bradley.
She wasn't VP worthy because she didn't
play golf
like the other guy did.
And that's not that far from reality, man.
No, I mean, yeah.
I feel like that does happen.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's kind of a.
There's like 3 or 4 things you have to do if you want to be a successful male.
Yeah,
you know,
such bullshit.
Yep.
Anyway, so she's now she's the sole survivor of this plane crash, and she's famous for it now, and she has come into her own completely.
Well, she's the head of the company, I think, right? Because she was like the last surviving.
Oh, is that right?
I feel like they don't ever say that, but I feel like she's the one that knows all the books. She's the one that knows everything about the company. She just came back and took over the company.
Maybe. I mean, she's just kind of living her best life now. A full arc 180 from where she started.
Right.
Now, that implies that she got away with everything because she was right or virtuous. I don't feel that way, but you could read it that way.
Yeah, I don't necessarily feel that that's even how they want you to read it.
Yeah. Well, that's funny because I was anticipating that you were going to have that complaint. Yeah. Like, oh, she got away with it, so the filmmakers wanted us to think that she was the right one.
The way that I see that is, yeah, Bradley's a piece of shit, right? And I think she finally realized that all she has to do to succeed in life is be a piece of shit.
That's a good point.
And now she's one of them.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So, and it took, crash landing on an island and realizing, oh, I am a powerful motherfucker, to realize, hey, I can just be a piece of shit. I don't have to like kowtow to these people anymore.
Sort of the American way, right?
Yeah.
We have this whole like, we just go pluck the president of Venezuela out.
Hell yeah.
We can.
Hell yeah. Why not?
Strength wins. And it is.
He wasn't the president, by the way.
Well, you're right. The leader. Yeah. That's all debate. I actually don't have strong opinions on that.
Yeah, me either.
It's just the whole, the strong do usually win. Mm-hmm. And is that good? Is that right?
Remember, might makes right. Well, that's history.
I don't subscribe to that. Might makes right, but you can see that this is like a cynical way to tell the story of sometimes you just got to swim in shark infested waters with the sharks.
Well, and you got to hope that the one that's mighty is a good person. And I do feel deep down that Rachel McAdams' character, if he wouldn't have fucked with her, she would have saved his life.
That's true.
I feel like she's much more of a good person. So the whole concept of who's the bad guy, like,
right.
I mean, yeah, she does some evil shit, but I'm going to let it slide.
Yeah.
Because, she's not going to go murder. I mean, granted, Bradley's not going to go murder people either, but...
I guess it's more about not necessarily the actions of the character, but what's in their heart.
Yeah.
And we see that she has a heart and he doesn't.
And she's worried about her bird, right. Yeah. Like,
that
got me. All that stuff got me.
Even though she does much more illegal things than he does.
Yeah.
But, laws aren't necessarily... reflective entirely of what morality is.
Right.
The big ones are. I think murdering is usually
bad, there's like the commandments, right? The commandments, just follow the commandments, and then everything else is just, whatever people think.
Okay, anything else that you want to get off your chest
Let me look through
movie?
my notes, because I did have some notes that I have not been looking at because we've had such a pleasant conversation. I did want to say I was really hoping that COVID would have just killed all plane travel, but
you're not.
Dude, I haven't flown in a plane. So I hate plane crash movies because I hate flying in planes. I haven't flown in a plane since 2019, pre-COVID.
Okay.
I'm terrified. I have a
not even a commercial.
No,
flight?
not even a commercial because I think it was 2019. I was in a severe turbulence where some dudes. I've been in that where the dudes flew up.
Really?
To the sea. Yeah. And we all thought we were going to die. And I was like, I took the train home that year.
Yeah,
and I've just been taking the train ever since.
Wow. I would do it, though.
So that was one of the notes it's great for movies that planes are back, but not so much for me.
So okay. I've also been not on a private plane that size. It was like a small Cessna.
Oh, you were in a little one?
You feel every bump.
Yeah. It's terrifying, right?
It's really scary.
Yeah. The other thing, did you see the trailer for Wuthering Heights?
Is there a new one? I've seen a trailer for it. It was not in the screening.
I never knew that the dude's name was Heathcliff, but I wanted to get your opinion on that.
Oh, on being a
Is that a sexy name?
Well, in Bronteverse it is, yes. I don't know how familiar the Messed Up Movies audience is with Charlotte Bronte.
Do you think that the cliff part of it has anything to do with the heights?
It's a great question. I often was mistaken as a Heathcliff.
Were you? What is your actual name? Heath?
It's just Heath.
Oh.
Yeah, but
so
people would call me Heathcliff.
Oh, forget about it. I thought your name was Heathcliff, so that's why I brought it up.
Yeah, okay. Exactly, yeah.
All right, so moving on then. If you were ever stranded on an island, if you had one item, what would it be?
Only one item? I mean, I think you'd want like a lighter, right?
You'd take a lighter?
Yeah, I don't want to try and...
See, that's your mistake. If it's 3 items, maybe one of them can be a lighter. If it's one, you ever read that book called The Hatchet?
I have read The Hatchet, yeah.
It's got to be a hatchet, right?
Yeah.
That dude.
Because that can get you.
We were all trained. You can make the fire with the hatchet. You can kill the boar with the hatchet.
Yeah.
You can do anything with the hatchet. All right.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so this movie is absurd, right? But I feel like so Sam Raimi's absurdity is becoming more and more realistic. Like that CEO, right?
Our world is becoming more and more absurd.
Okay, so one of the things I wanted to point out was like the CEO is written to be this guy that's not a real person, but he seems like a real person now.
That's the thing. The cliche is becoming the actual person. Like they are just leaning into these types and forgetting their own humanity, because everybody is just advertising now. It's all self-brand shit. And I have to now be this person, even though that's not maybe who I am at my core. Right. I have to present as this person all the time. Like the mask never comes off.
It's all this wall, this demeanor.
It's all posture.
Yeah, it's posture.
Yep.
Okay, and then the final point I wanted to bring up is, if you're going to get on a plane with Rachel McAdams, based off of Red Eye in this one, maybe don't.
Yeah. Air travel, not quite a great mix with that lady.
Yeah.
Is there another one?
I think there was a third one. I forgot to write it down, but I'm pretty sure there was a third one, because that makes that joke way better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's great. I wish she was in more. Feel like I haven't seen her in a while.
The other point, I didn't even write this down, but do you remember True Detective Season 2?
I loved True Detective.
Do you remember when she's training with a knife?
Yes, I do.
So I saw the Rachel McAdams from Send Help, 10 years ago, when she's training with that knife, and then when she finally kills that fucking guy.
Yeah.
Same woman. She had it in her this entire time.
She did. Yeah. She did. Yeah, you kind of think of her as this sort of sweet
The Notebook
girl next door type. And
that big smile, all teeth.
Yeah, she has some edge.
Dude, she'll fuck you up. Yeah.
Okay, Sam, what was the most messed up moment in Send Help?
Well, I'm definitely going to go with the fake castration.
Fake castration.
Yeah,
okay.
The tears rolling down his eyes.
Yeah.
The sound effects.
Yeah.
The blood spurt.
The blood was great.
Oh my god! And then her comedic timing is, she's like, "Oh, you're a bleeder," and then he's just crying. It's just like, man, you feel. That's when you're fully on his side, right? If she would have actually done that, she's the bad guy.
Yeah.
That was my messed up moment from Send Help.
I mean, he deserved that lesson, obviously.
Did he?
Yeah, because he drugged her.
Yeah, but just like kill him. Don't cut his like. I feel like that's drastic.
No. He deserved what she did.
Oh no, she does. He definitely deserved her fucking with him.
Yeah.
If she would have actually done it, though, I don't think he deserved it.
And it was also a power move. She needed to show him that she's the boss still.
And it didn't work, because he's still.
Yeah, he's pretty stubborn.
He just needed he was very stubborn. He needed like the 2 or 3 days to regain his confidence. He's like, you know what? I am in charge again.
The one scene, which is my most messed up moment, where I did feel bad for him, is when he finds his fiance's hand sticking up out of the sand with the engagement ring. And like you said, like you were really going into exactly what made it mess up for me, is imagine being weeks on this island. You don't know what your life's going to be. You've probably been thinking about, assuming that he loves her, if he's capable of love, thinking about, what is she thinking? How's she feeling?
Well, is she dating someone? Like, is she giving up on me?
Like, will I ever see her again? And no hope. The hope is dying that you're ever going to see anyone else besides Linda Little again. And then the moment he sees any other human presence, it's his fiance. Like, you couldn't even. I'd be like, this is a dream. This isn't real.
And it's literally the symbol of their love.
Right.
It's the ring.
He goes to his knees and he's kissing her hand and he's slobbering all over her.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can't.
Tough.
That is
tough.
No matter how much of a shitbag he was, I felt bad for him.
Such a good, because you don't know who to root for, man. It's like, okay, well, fuck her now. Like, goddamn. Yeah. But also fuck him.
Exactly. And I think
the only one I was rooting for was his fiance. She was a badass.
She was great, and so was his assistant, Dennis Haysbert. Yeah.
Right.
Those two kids should have got together.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I think the moral grayness of the film just allows you to have fun with it. Yeah. She can do shitty things, he can do shitty things, and
you don't have to like either one of them, you just have to like the ride.
Exactly. Yeah, and I like them both. I like both actors enough. They're both interesting and charismatic and fun. And I don't know that all the character motivations quite worked, but overall,
well, so even though like the events that were happening weren't that believable, I feel like they're such good actors that they made it believable. Like you felt like they believed it was happening.
Exactly.
So that's all you really needed, right?
Exactly.
Like that boar's not there, but fucking there's blood spraying in her face, and she's acting the shit out of it.
And it's just great to have Sam Raimi back. I hope we get another movie from him.
How old is Sam Raimi, do you know?
That's a great question. I would assume he's around 70.
Damn, dude.
Because Evil Dead they made in the 70s.
Did they?
Yeah.
What the hell?
It didn't release until 81, but I think it sat on the shelf for like 4 or 5 years.
Dude, a 70-year-old man just made the movie we watched?
Yeah, man.
That's amazing.
Hell yeah.
That gives us hope. We have 30 more years,
right? Man. Hey, Scorsese's another one, although he's starting to do more older man movies. But
yeah.
They still have some...
They're still good.
There's still some gas in the tank there. Yeah, I hope we get another Sam Raimi movie. He's just been doing a lot of producing. It's great to see what he does because, I think it's so singular.
Yeah.
A lot of people try. No one does it quite like he does, and it was great to see. Okay, that's it. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Messed Up Movies podcast. Go see Sin Help.
Yeah.
We thought it was great. And yeah, if you see the movie, listen to this episode, don't forget to rate and review. Let us know what you thought. Don't worry, Griffey will be back for the next one. We did our best.
He'll tell you everything you need to know next time. One of the things I remember is if you want to pay to be on the podcast, I think it's $99.
Okay, so yes, go to Indiegogo. You can find the perk that allows you to come be a guest on this podcast.
Yep.
And
help support our movie.
Help support our movie.
It's not giving $99 to us.
We're still in post-production. A movie that is really modeled after the Sam Raimi style. I think you can see his fingerprints all over our movie once it finally comes out, which should be this summer. So go there, Indiegogo, find the podcast perk, come join our show, find us on Patreon. That's the best way to support the show. Pick up one of those tiers. We have a lot of extra stuff that you normally wouldn't see. And just more than anything, thanks for being along for this ride. We're officially in year 2 now of the Messed Up Movies podcast. We just hit our biggest month of listenership ever. We want to keep the trend going. So thanks so much. We've got a Wednesday episode with Griffey and Alex coming up this week. Another film festival draft.
What's the draft this week? I forget. It's the
Serial Killers. So on Friday, we will be drafting the most messed up serial killer movies. And then we'll have another new movie for you next week.
Next week.
That's it. Thanks for listening.